This is the worst idea anyone's brought me in over a year.
You'll get 7 years, minimum. And you'll do over 80% of it. In every battle, there are casualties. You're talking about surrendering your kingdom to save a single loyal soldier.
Let's talk about how you can stay out of trouble when it comes to insider information and stock manipulation laws and other finance lessons from the 6th episode of Billions Season 3, based on my work experience at Goldman Sachs in New York City and based on my work experience at the top hedge funds in the world. Now, please like, comment, and subscribe and stick around, because at the end of this video, I'm going to grade the episode for Wall Street realism with a buy, hold, or sell rating. In this episode, Axe's hedge fund might shut down because of insider information and stock market manipulation due to Axe Capital's manipulation of the Ice Juice IPO that we saw in Season 2.
And they're off. Ice Juice trading under the symbol IceJ, already pushing north of 20.
Now, Bobby Axelrod wants to destroy the IPO, so what he did was he hired people to put poison in the Ice Juice product.
The stock is running. When will you do it?
Soon.
Brutal. And so Axe made a killing on this IPO through material stock manipulation, and he profited by doing this.
We're short a name.
Maybe I'll get in on this. Anybody betting it won't turn?
No, ma'am. This is a red light short. Axe doesn't get positions this size wrong.
The district attorney's office found out what Axe did with the poison, and they're investigating him. But to make matters worse, the wife of the district attorney, meaning Wendy, who works at Axe, is now in a lot of trouble because of this.
The Ice Juice short? How do I get a piece of that?
There's an allocation. I can make it happen.
As much as I can get.
You got it, baller.
So Wendy is now also being investigated. So how can you stay out of trouble when it comes to stock manipulation and insider information? Well, let's talk first about market manipulation. I love the Reddit crowd and retail investors, but we really need to be careful, because if a few retail investors get together and drive up the price of a stock that they own, then there's a chance that the government can come after retail investors for this. Nobody is above the law.
Walk away. I should. But then again, what's the point of having screw you money if you never say screw you?
Now, in January of 2021, the price of GameStop went up 29.4 times. And this caused the SEC to consider at some point looking at retail investors when it comes to market manipulation. Now, to be fair and objective, I think it was mainly the hedge fund short covering that of course caused GameStop to rise materially. Also, from a pump and dump perspective, if someone were to write something false on a website which causes a stock to go up or down a lot, then this too would be market manipulation. And the government now has very sophisticated AI-based algorithms that can detect market manipulation even if a crooked investor does not document the reason for a trade.
What's your level of certainty?
I am not uncertain.
Now, what is also illegal is what's called wash trading, which means buying and selling the same stock repeatedly in order to pretend that a stock has high liquidity. Now, why do some crooked hedge funds get tempted to manipulate stocks? It's because of the unbelievable temptation of compensation, as shown in this clip.
7.2 million. 7.2 million. Feel that.
Now, you're watching this video and my other Billions videos as you might be interested in getting a job in the finance industry. If so, please go to the description of this video and click the link to set up a call with us about joining my Finance Bootcamp program, where we will help you get a job in finance. Separately, you got to be really careful if you're an analyst at a hedge fund, as sometimes the portfolio manager that you report to makes you do dirty work so that PM, meaning portfolio manager, is protected.
We know how Axelrod's operation works. He keeps himself insulated.
Now, corrupt hedge funds pay massive bonuses to employees that make them a killing, regardless of what rules they break. Axe, like many politicians and billionaires, values loyalty more than anything else, as we see here in this episode.
In every battle, there are casualties. You're talking about surrendering your kingdom to save a single loyal soldier.
She said me. And she's not just a loyal soldier, she's the company's spirit animal.
Now, that's not accurate. Yes, loyalty from the top down is important, but not at the risk of going to jail because of a crush. Similarly, loyalty from the bottom up is not logical if you might get arrested. Now, I want you to watch how Axe's employee Dollar Bill gives a loyalty nod to Axe as he gets arrested in the office.
We have a warrant from a federal court, and you get out.
Lawyer!
Sir,
We have a warrant for your arrest. You can get a lawyer when you're holding cell. You are under arrest for insider trading and securities fraud.
Let's go, smart guy.
Now, to make matters more interesting, in this episode, this happens.
And now we're all three of us royally in a way that's so incestuous that if one of us goes to prison, we all do. Conversely, if we want to get ourselves out of this cluster,
it's one for all and all for one.
Now, you find out who your real friends are in situations like this, as Axe's wife wants to leave him in this episode.
You'd be ripping my heart out of my chest.
I'll do it without hesitating. And no family court judge will stop me with you in prison.
Now, we'll come back to more insider information and market manipulation issues you need to be aware of in a second. But once you make money your god, then you compromise your ethics, which happens a lot on Wall Street. And that's why many of them are depressed. And some billionaires think they're actually above the law.
The moment I let someone in a boardroom or a government office tell me what I can or cannot buy, I may as well close the shop, and I'm not closing the shop.
And you'll see that when the government pushes back, Axe and some billionaires push back even harder.
We will fight back hard. We will mobilize the war machine, and those who would try to bring down our house will see their own houses fall.
Now, there's also arrogance on the part of corrupt money managers that they think because they're insanely wealthy, that they're smarter than the rest of the market, and arrogance and ignorance are a deadly combination.
The press acts like information's a dirty word. Everyone has access to the information, we just know how to analyze it better.
And some even feel that the media has moved so far in a certain direction against capitalism.
When did it become a crime to succeed in this country? America used to salute the guy in the limousine. They wanted to be the guy in the limousine. They still want to.
And what is also illegal from a stock manipulation perspective is fake buy orders to trick algorithmic trading. Now, this means a trader places a large buy order for a stock and then cancels it before execution, hoping others will follow the fake demand. And this is also called spoofing. So we have to be really careful with options as well, though, in what's called coordinated gamma squeeze. A coordinated gamma squeeze trade on options means if a group of retail investors notices that a stock has high short interest, so what they do is they mass buy call options, causing a gamma squeeze. Now, in this episode, Axe might also face jail time.
You'll get 7 years, minimum. And you'll do over 80% of it.
And if Axe goes to jail, can Axe Capital still exist in the long run?
you're wondering if Axe Capital can survive Axe himself going to jail.
Yes.
The capital will still need to be managed.
That's not accurate either. It's very rare that a hedge fund can stay in business if the founder abruptly leaves. And investors would immediately redeem, especially given material insider information issues with Axe. Now, in general, please be careful with what you read on Telegram or Discord or any source about stocks and especially cryptos. And remember, and I say this with love in my heart, day trading does not work. Otherwise, we would know the names of successful day traders in the long run, which we don't. So never trade on information not available to the public. And in real life, what Axe and his team are doing could get them all indicted under SEC laws and face criminal prosecution. Also, compliance teams are not optional. Now, unlike the show's characters, real firms have compliance departments that review all sources of investment decisions. And penalties are real. And in the real world, insider trading can lead to prison sentences, massive fines, and career-ending bans, as we've seen in the case with Raj Rotman, Martha Stewart, and others. So you also have to avoid gray areas. So when in doubt, assume it's illegal. Let me say that again. When in doubt, assume that it's illegal. And please document your investment thesis using only public and properly sourced data. Now let's talk about grading of this episode for Wall Street Realism with a buy, hold, or sell rating. The episode did a great job of explaining how market manipulation can lead to prosecution and jail time. However, Axe showing loyalty to Wendy because of a potential crush is certainly not accurate. Also, another inaccuracy in this episode is that there's no way that a hedge fund whose founder might go to jail and have to leave the firm would be able to prosper in the long run, especially since investors would run for the exits. As a result, I'm going to give this episode a sell rating. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in our next reaction video when we react to episode 7 of season 3. Thank you.